Listed at over 360 pounds and standing 6 foot 4 inches tall, defensive tackles don't come as big as T'Vondre Sweat much anymore, making him one of the more intriguing defensive lineman prospects in this year's draft. How does he hold up in evaluation? Let's find out on this 2-minute drill. Operating with such a large frame, Sweat does a magnificent job of taking on blocks while holding his ground in order to close off space at the line of scrimmage. Whether it's stonewalling against double teams or being able to collapse his blocker in one-on-one situations at the snap, Sweat does a very nice job eating up ground and closing off his general area in run defense. Sweat has natural strength and power that gives him plenty of advantage at the point of attack in his matchups, and that can give him the chance to hold his ground while getting to process and decide what he intends to do on the play. Despite being so large, he finds his way into the backfield routinely and demonstrates some nice swipe moves to shed blocks and get to the football. On top of that, Sweat does show some nice flashes of burst that can help him get over from a couple lanes out and attack on the ball carrier in order to provide a better range of run stuffing ability when he's finding ways to disengage with explosion and find a way to put a stop to the play. Teams routinely operated by avoiding Sweat too, so even his presence helps limit the selection and availability to opposing teams and makes an impact on the game. For concerns with Sweat, he will be undervalued by some as a nose tackle that plays primarily in the A and B gaps at the next level, but for film itself, his lateral mobility hurts him in contain on passing downs, which can allow the play to break outside of him at the line of scrimmage, and while he does demonstrate some nice power in his engagements on the line, he could stand to get more control and better hand usage when using it in order to close out plays more effectively in the backfield. When finding a comparison for T'Vondre Sweat, the name that comes to mind is Damon Snacks Harrison, who played nose tackle at a few different spots in his career. With an also massive frame, Harrison was a dominant run stuffer during his time in the NFL and consistently contributed dependable play in the trenches, even earning an All-Pro nod in 2016. For Sweat, I think he'll be similarly under the radar in this type of role at the next level, but could make a huge contribution for any franchise looking for help on the interior. As far as draft range, I wouldn't be shocked if a team like the Lions didn't care as much about positional value and took him late first round, but I think it's more likely we'll hear his name called in round 2 or 3. There are plenty of teams who would love to improve their run defense this offseason, and adding a good nose tackle could do the trick. But if you're worried about landing the best one, it's a no-sweat decision. You'll want the Texas Longhorn. And that's the 2-minute drill.